In the blistering heat of July 1863, the fate of the Confederacy hung by a thread. The town of Gettysburg became the stage for one of the most pivotal battles in American history, a brutal clash that would define the course of the Civil War. Amidst the smoke and chaos, Lieutenant General James Longstreet emerged as a key figure. His first-hand account reveals not only the confusion and fractured leadership within the Confederate ranks, but also the heavy burden of decision-making in a time of desperate uncertainty. As Union forces pressed forward, Confederate scouts reported alarming movements. On the night of June 28th, Longstreet's scouts confirmed that the Union had crossed the Potomac and was likely pursuing the Confederate Army. A warning was sent to headquarters. The Army needed to regroup east of the mountains. By June 30th, Longstreet's forces were on the move. Most of his command set up camp at Greenwood, with Pickett's division remaining at Chambersburg to protect the rear. Hood was assigned to New Guilford to cover the road toward Emmitsburg. The next morning, the march toward Gettysburg began, slow and grueling. Johnson's division, with its massive wagon train, clogged the roads. Still, by nightfall, McLaws and Hood's divisions were just 4 miles from Gettysburg. On July 2nd, the situation escalated. Ordered to flank the Union's left along the Emmitsburg Road, Longstreet delayed the attack until Law's brigade arrived. The terrain was difficult, the enemy entrenched. By 4 p.m., Confederate artillery opened fire, and Longstreet's divisions launched a fierce assault. They pushed Union forces back to a steep, stony ridge, a natural fortress riddled with stone fences. Fighting raged until nightfall. But mounting losses and the sudden wounding of General Hood and several senior officers stalled any further advance. The cost was high, General Barksdale mortally wounded, Generals Semmes and Anderson critically injured. Exhausted troops held their ground on the right but were forced to pull back on the left. And yet, the next day, orders came for what would become one of the war's most infamous moments. Pickett, supported by divisions under Pettigrew and Trimble, was to lead a full frontal assault on Cemetery Hill, across open ground under relentless Union fire. Longstreet, deeply skeptical of the plan, reluctantly gave the order. Artillery opened at 2 p.m. The Confederate batteries thundered. Cemetery Hill answered back. When the bombardment ended, Pickett's men surged forward. They advanced with unwavering discipline, but halfway across the field, they were met with brutal canister fire. The left faltered, but the line pressed on. As they reached musket range, chaos erupted. Union resistance stiffened. The charge broke. Pickett's division, once proud and resolute, was crushed. Nearly half were killed, wounded, or captured. Anderson's reinforcements were too late and too exposed to risk further advance. Longstreet's worst fears had come true. As the Confederate army reeled from the loss, Longstreet pulled his men back. That night, orders came to prepare for retreat. Heavy rain and ruined roads turned the march to Hagerstown into a grueling ordeal. They reached it on July 6th, battered and broken. The Battle of Gettysburg was over. The Confederacy had suffered a devastating blow, and though Union forces held the ground, both sides bore the scars of brutal conflict. Longstreet's reflections pull back the curtain on the human cost of war, the missteps, the lost opportunities, the what-ifs that echo through time. What if different decisions had been made? Could stronger coordination or a delayed attack have changed the outcome? Longstreet's story is more than a military report. It's a sobering exploration of leadership under pressure, of courage and failure interwoven on the battlefield. As the cannons fall silent, one question remains.